Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Topic of discussion today is the heaven above America, the heaven above the United States of America versus Africa. Now, in order to understand this, one have to understand that every country in the world that we have just an heaven locality above it. Each country, any continent, you have an heaven above this. And Oahspe gives us a blueprint about this, explain this in fully, that there are heavens above our country and heaven above each continent. So I'm going to be focusing and just talking about the United States of America, the heaven above that. Now, versus Africa. Because there's a point and there's something I'm bringing out here. I'm about to decode why Africa is still the way they are and America is progressing, but the continent of Africa is not progressing. And you're going to see after my video why. You're going to see why. But in order for me to start first, I just want to pull up a verse in the Oahspe. Just one verse, and that's it. And then I'm going to talk about my topic of discussion today. I'm a brother faithist. I'm a faithist, and I simply just believe in the Creator. I don't accept the concept of the Savior because it's invalid. The Savior have not done anything for us in this current era, so it's invalid. Let me just pull up the Oahspe for a minute, and we're gonna talk from there. I'm gonna break this down and talk about, we're going to see why America is progressing and the reason behind it. America, for example, is progressing in technology, in science. They're progressing in everything they do. In the Olympics, they also are progressing. When someone in America produces a device 2 years ago and launched it 2 years ago, they come with revisions. They keep on revising it. That's progress. That's positive progress. And some people might think, oh, they're just trying to make money. No. But the reason is, why is it that the country of America is progressing positively? Why? Now, if you look at China, also China is progressing. And you have Japan progressing too. But let me pull up the book of Wars. I'm going to be reading from the book of Wars, chapter 53, verse 1. The book of Wars, chapter 53, verse 1. Jehovah had said. Now, listen to this. Jehovah had said. See that? When you read your Christian Bible, you get confused who's talking. This one here says, Jehovah has said, I created man blank as to good and evil, and gave him liberty. And I gave liberty also to the spirits of the dead. Spirits of the dead are angels. But these spirits set themselves up as gods, and to glorify themselves used mortals. Mortals are human beings. I am a human being. I'm a mortal. In their own way. For they found, let me read this again. I gave liberty also to the spirits of the dead. Spirits of the dead are humans who die in our physical world or another corporeal world in a star. And when they die, they are called spirits of the dead. They become angels afterward too. Now, but these spirits set themselves up as gods, and to glorify themselves, use mortals in their own way. For they found that mortals could be turned to good or evil, to war or to peace, to virtue or to lust, according to the inspiration of the angel watching over them. I'm just going to stop right there. There are numerous verses in the Oahspe that talks about spirits of the dead, angels inspiring with humans today. And they continue to do that. So once we humans die here, once we humans, the current humans now, when we die, we also going to be inspire the current humans that's living in our physical world while we're in heaven. So it's a plan. It goes on like that. But this verse is telling you that The spirits of the dead can turn we humans into good or evil, to war or to peace or to virtue or to loss, according to the inspiration of the angels. Now you see why America is advanced in technology. The spirits of the dead are living above the heaven, above America, in the heaven locality belonging to America. The spirits are high. They're high in grade. The grades are high. Now, why is that? That means that when those spirits were once human, they were advancing their technology. They had good business. They were good in sports. They were good in singing. Any industry, they were very industrious. I mean, whatever it is these humans were doing when they died, they came back to inspire the United States of America. Every spirit above us right now are inspiring America, and that's why America is advancing in technology. They're advancing in science. Whatever you want to name it, in anything America put your hands on, the country of America, we advance, we progress, we're positive. There's no negative. Even if there's a negative outcome, they find a way out. Why? The spirits above us are the one doing it. They're inspiring us. They're giving us the answer. They're giving us the solution. We get the solution. You see that? Now let's shift a little bit to the continent of Africa. You wonder why you've got so much preachers and pastors growing in Nigeria, for example, in Ghana, in Zambia, in Kenya. Spirits of darkness. Imagine all these people growing there. They develop. We're talking about brand new pastors, brand new prophets rising. And the country is still the way they are. And the way you measure this is you look at the output. You look at what did they give in. You see? What they give in is how you know. And then what you get out. And what we get out of Africa is still darkness. Not even one spirit above the continent of Africa can inspire one human to give us full 24 hours electricity. Not one spirit above Africa, the heaven above Africa, not one spirit can inspire. I'm going to say this again. And you've got more than 500,000 prayers going through from Africa, going to the heaven above Africa. And not one, not even the God above Africa can inspire one human to say, you know what? Give the country of Nigeria full-time 24 hours electricity. When you look back and you look at the former Asian country of Egypt, they were striving, they were progressing, and there's a secret to that. And it's no longer a secret. Those who read Oahspe will understand. They were striving and they were doing good because they had a group of people called Fatis living in Egypt at that time. So there was a lot of angels with them. And it's the same thing with America. The reason America is progressing is because we have a little group of Fatis still living in America. Once those group of Fatis leave, then you're going to start seeing problem in the country of America. But because they are a group of Fatis, I'm a Fatist. You see, I can't, if you were to go to Nigeria for a minute, I don't even think we could even see one Fatist come out of Nigeria and say, I'm a Fatist. You see? So, if I was to keep on talking about the continent above Africa, the heaven above Africa, we got spirits of darkness with spiritual grade of 0, low graded. It's the same. These are all the same angels above Africa that inspire people to reincarnation. Let them believe there's reincarnation. They come back as familiar spirits. You've got bunch. Now, don't get me wrong. it's not that the United States of America don't have this reincarnation spirit going on, don't have demonic spirit going on. The thing is, it's a low amount compared to the goodness that we go through in America. The good versus evil in America, the good surpasses the evil. Now, when you look at the continent of Pan that got crushed, that went through the flood, that got flooded. I'm not going to say flooded because it wasn't flooded. What happened was that there were a bunch of Ethereans that came to crush. They literally crushed the continent out of our world and let it sink. You see? Now, they had a spiritual grade of 0. They could not raise, out of 100%, they could not even raise 1% of humans to spiritual light, to a spiritual grade of 1. All of them were a bunch of spirits of darkness. When they die in the continent of Pan and they go above, when they rise up in heaven above Pan, the continent of Pan at that time, they were all spirits of darkness. So they decided to crush that. And this also can happen to a country. Once that country is at minus 99% spiritual grade, where they could not raise 1 spirit of light, they're gonna come. Those angels will come and they'll crush that country. They will crush that country. If it's a continent, they'll crush the continent. They will come. You see? But the heaven above America is so, the angels that live there are so advanced that they were the one responsible to transmit the Oahspe. The Oahspe would not have been transmitted in the continent of Africa. Impossible. Because you're going to have spirits of darkness trying to fight back, that this information will not come true. But it was able to come true because some of those spirits and most of those spirits once lived in America. And they know they were deceived. So they needed to transmit this information back to America to let you know this is what to expect in heaven when you cross over. So they did a good job by transmitting the information. I mean, you go all over the country. If you're an American citizen here, you could travel to any part of the country, virtually speaking, 99% of the country without a visa. Now, that's a beautiful thing, that a US citizen can travel. And that's to tell you that the government of America has an handshake with each other country all over the world. They have a policy. They have friendship. They have a brotherhood with other countries. See, this is how America, and America is also, they also help out other countries. So the spiritual grade of America is rising daily because they're doing good works to other countries. So, when spirits of the dead, when spirits die here, when humans dying in America, you have spirits of the dead that help them out in the heaven above America. Help them to rise in power, to rise in wisdom, and educate them. But in Africa, you have no education. What they do is those spirits, they teach them how to steal, how to commit crime, how to plan a coup against the current government. I can give you a list and keep on going on. The point of this topic was to show you the difference, that the heaven above America is so advanced that they're going to keep on inspiring humans that live in America to do good works, to increase in their technology, to improve in their technology, to improve in their science, to improve in whatever they put your hands on, in industry, businesses, you want to name it. I mean, now you even have angels inspiring people in America to convert to become a vegan. So they now revising, they now plan, they're doing the planning where, not that the planning, it's already in process, where they're now making plant-based food so that we could become a full-time vegan. You see? Now this is going on in America. If you go to restaurants in America, they've got the vegan food so that we could become vegan. We could become a vegan. We could convert from the carnivorous food. The carnivorous food degrades us spiritually, does not make us spiritual. So you have companies now changing their food diet. They're changing the food they produce to us. That's a good thing. That's to tell you that the spirits of the dead above America are working daily. They're working 24 hours for America. Now, the founding fathers of America were faithists at heart. They were faithists. And they gave us, a constitution that made sense. You see? I could go on and on about the heaven above America, but the topic was just to give us, to decode that, the character that we humans have in America right now, when we die, that character continues and we inspire humans, current humans as well. And this is why America is the greatest country right now and the highly advanced country. I mean, if you were to ask a country in Africa, how long would it take for that country to meet up with the standard of America? It will be more than 7,000 years. It will take more than 7,000 years. I left Nigeria in 1992. And I thought when I go back to Nigeria one day, that, by the time I go back to Nigeria in 10 years, that Nigeria will have 24-hour electricity, that the road infrastructure, the road that our cars, our motorcycle pass through, go through, will be fixed. Let me tell you, it's worst. It is the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. Why? That's because the angels above Nigeria are low in grade. They are still spirits of darkness. Most of them are sleeping, believing in the judgment day. Most of them are sleeping, believing in rest in peace principle. Most of them are sleeping because they're looking for Jesus in heaven. And they ain't no Jesus Christ. There are a bunch of millions of Jesus Christ in heaven. And the people dying are looking for Jesus Christ. So they have no time to inspire you. And when they do inspire people that live in Nigeria right now, they inspire them to crime. They inspire them to perfect themselves in 419. You see what I'm saying? They inspire them to commit crimes in form of politics. Now, don't get me wrong. There are crimes that kind of go on in and out in politics in America, but it's minor compared to the continent of Africa, compared to a country, Nigeria, for example. The amount of prayers that come out of Nigeria every day. We're talking about Nigeria has the highest rate of churches, place of worship in Nigeria. They have the highest when you compare it to the world. And they cannot even lift one, they can't come up with one city of peace in Nigeria. The amount of money they have in Nigeria, they cannot even come up with 24-hour electricity. The amount of prophets and preachers that we have in Nigeria, in the country called Nigeria, they cannot even come up with one city, one town of peace. And you tell me that God is with them? No. The answer is no. The heaven above Nigeria is in darkness. And those who are reading Oahspe know where I'm coming from. Those who study the Oahspe, and they know for a fact what I'm talking about is true. The country of Nigeria, the heaven above Nigeria, is in spiritual darkness. And in order for them to, in order for them to fix the country, to fix the continent of Africa, they have to seek the Creator. They have to seek the Creator. The amount of prayers that come out of Africa, and you can't even get one prayer answered by your God. I could go on about this. Today's topic was just to differentiate the heaven above America compared to Africa. The heaven above America is highly advanced. We've got highly graded angels that dwell there. The angels there are advanced in education because they go through educational process. See what I'm saying? And once they finish that educational process, they keep on progressing. And as they keep on progressing, they continue to inspire we humans that live in America. That's why America is in perfect order, though. You might get, some of those little bit of crimes and stuff like that. That's understandable. But when you compare the spiritual grade of America compared to other countries, America's grade is high, way high. Now, you can see the same thing going on in the country of China and Japan. They're high in grade. Why? That's because the heaven above them, the angels above them are highly graded angels. These are angels beyond human imagination. Subscribe to my YouTube video. Next topic after this will be idol worshippers. Who are idol worshippers? What is idol worship? You're going to be surprised that Christianity is part of idol worship. Islam is part of idol worship. Buddha is part of idol worship. Hindu is part of idol worship. So idol worship is not just those that worship, idols and objects and stuff. No, it's beyond that. Subscribe to my YouTube video. Idol worshippers will be the upcoming topics after this broadcast. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Bye-bye now.